Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. How is everyone doing? Yes, please hit that like button, everybody. We have quite a bit to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Martell showing Arionne on the show. It's clear that Martell is definitely doing a soft launch, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Nell and Kimmi getting, very close, up close and personal. We're also going to talk about Simon. Simon had some words for Portia Williams. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about quite a lot of stuff tonight, actually. There is a lot going on in the YouTube streets. We'll also talk about Candy as well, because that has also come up. But all I ask for you tonight is please hit that like button as you guys come in. Also share the live so other people know that we are live. Especially because I don't think the live wasn't exactly planned. We only scheduled it today. So please make sure you hit that like button to support. We're also going to talk about some Potomac as well. So it is going to be a long night. So make sure you grab a snack, grab something, a little something to drink. Tonight I'm having a Kopparberg cider with strawberry and lime. So that's what I'm having tonight. Oops, yeah, just popped that can open. But yeah, let us know in the chat, what are you guys having for, what are you drinking tonight? What are you eating? What snacks do you have? As we go through all the stories that we have to talk about today. Hi, Tommy. You're welcome. Everyone say hi to Tommy. Hello, hello, hello. Please hit that like button as you come in. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so let's start. So I'm gonna start with the Love and Mary Townsville stuff, just because I feel like let's talk about the Love and Mary Townsville. Let's get that out of the way. Um, I am low key a little bit like I may play some clips, but I also don't want to show too many clips because I don't want a situation where I get flagged for copyright. Especially I don't know how OWN is behaving nowadays with the videos. So maybe I'll show you guys a video here and there, but not a lot of videos. So let's start with the Martell bringing Arionne on. So one thing that we saw, for those of you who may have watched the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, let me know what you guys thought of the episode. How would you rate the episode? Let us know in the chat. Um, I will say the episode was it was okay. I feel like there were points where, like, I would say the big thing that happened on this episode was Martell showing up to that um dang event that Nell had going on and wearing a t-shirt of he and Arionne. So I would say that's probably like one of the highlights that happened in this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think the other thing that I would say that was a huge highlight that happened would be Nell and Kimmi getting in each other's faces. And I feel like for that one in particular, I have quite a lot to say on that. So let's just talk about it. So Martell showed up. And Martell had this shirt on. And let me see if I can show you all the shirt. Let me see if I can get a clip that has the shirt so I can just show you all real quick. Let's see. Let me see if I can to be honest, yeah, maybe let me have a quick look at this bit. Okay, so I don't really have a clip of the shirt, but the bottom line is Martell showed up with a t-shirt that had Arionne and himself on. the t-shirt. So it was a picture that was printed on the t-shirt. I personally think is very much giving attention seeking. I think that he is just trying to get our attentions. I think he's also trying to get production. He wants to plug Arionne on the show so much that they have to bring her on the show. I honestly feel like that's what his strategy is. I don't believe that it's all like, oh, he just happened to want to show his love to his girlfriend or whatever, and that's why he was wearing a t-shirt of both of them. I don't believe that for a second. I definitely think that it was all in the bid to try to get some attention and another way to plug in Arionne so that people I think indirectly he's hoping that the fans will start saying, well, since Martell is always talking about Arionne, let's just bring Arionne on the show. And I think that's what he's counting on, which is why he is constantly bringing her on the show, constantly bringing her up, having conversations about her, and then now wearing a t-shirt with her face on it. I honestly think it is all attention seeking. That is all he's trying to do. He's trying to bring her on the show by any means necessary, and he's just trying to manipulate the audience to make it easy for him. This is my opinion. I feel like it's just a bid to, because think about it, if the audience starts getting in the comments talking about, well, since they keep talking about Arionne, let's just bring Arionne on the show, then guess what's going to happen? Most likely the same thing would happen, So I just think um yeah, that's I feel like that is all it is about. So get Gail Davis, Gail, I think that's it. Gail Davis says it was boring. Absolutely, completely agree, it was boring. That's why I said the only two things that I can really comment on in the whole episode was um Nell and Kimmi going at it. Um, but that was pretty much it. The rest was just boring. So if you guys had to give it a rating, 0 being terrible, 10 being excellent, what would you rate it on a scale of 0 to 10? Let us know. Uh, hold on. Why is my mouse not working? I hate when that happens because I'm like, yo, I like to have an external mouse. Okay, it's working now. So Tommy says the episode was dry. Absolutely, it was definitely dry. It wasn't giving much, I will be honest. And so yes, it was absolutely dry. So I will agree with that. Tommy says we only have 9 likes, so please don't be stingy with the likes. Hit the like button. And also like share the live as well. If you guys share the live, then other people can know that we're live and they can join in. It's a free way to support the channel. Please and thank you. Tommy says she would rate it a 3. And I feel like you all know Tommy tends to be like very, very nice. And so she's usually quite nice and generous with the feedback. So for her to be giving it a 3, that means it must have been terrible. So for those of you who did not watch, honestly, you're not missing anything. I will tell you that for free. Now, there is one thing that I want to comment on really quickly before I go into Nell and Kimmi getting in each other's faces. Did you guys notice that Destiny came in with Will? And did you guys hear what Will said? Will was basically saying that it was insinuating that a girl has one night to prove herself. That is such an odd thing to say. Let me know if you guys heard it, because I cannot be the only one that heard that man say a girl has one night. So please, guys, let me know. A girl has one night. Like, who are we kidding? Are we in high school? Why does she have to prove herself one night? And it's very much giving like a one night stand situation where you have one night to show yourself, to show that you are capable of whatever this man thinks he's talking about as at his grown age. It's like, at your grown age, sir, why are you saying that someone has one night to prove their worth? I just don't get it at all. And so that was definitely odd. I think it was very interesting also seeing what Ken had to low-key say about Will in the confessional. It's definitely given that Will isn't a very good guy to date anyway. So I really hope that Destiny knows what the heck she is doing. Tommy said, I heard it and I was so confused. Destiny needs to screen the men she hangs around, to be honest, and the way they were all laughing about it. Absolutely. And this is my thing. It's like, Destiny, and don't get me wrong, I understand that, it's not a woman's fault if a man is out here calling calling a girl all types of names and stuff. But the way those boys, and I say boys because they were moving like boys, the way those boys were laughing about it, kicking, ha ha, hee hee, about it, even Lance looked uncomfortable. Right. And so I'm just thinking, like, the fact that this man brought it into that scenario. Yeah, Destiny needs to do better with the men that she dates. And I think she is so, all about the looks and stuff. And ain't nobody saying you should date an ugly ninja. But at the same time, don't be out here with men that want to clown you, men that think they are the prize. Because how are you bringing someone as a plus one and he's keeking with the guys, talking about what kind of girl are you? And then you have one night to prove your worth? Girl, like, I'm so embarrassed for her. Like, I was just like, this ain't the kind of ninja you take out with you. And let's be clear, if a guy reaches out to you and wants to go out on a date with you, you go out on a date with them separately before you bring them on the show for them to be doing and speaking such nonsense in front of other people about you. So I was definitely very disappointed. Will is highly disappointing. You're not a child. And I'll show you guys a little bit of that clip because I feel like you guys need to see it for yourselves to understand what I'm talking about. And I know some people don't watch the show. So let me see if I can pull up that clip for you guys so you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about. Okay. So let's unmute it. Now, of course, I have to keep pausing, as you guys know, for copyright reasons.
Good, wholesome girl. Yeah. That's not what I want to hear.
So he asked about Destiny, and then they said, good, wholesome girl. And then he said, that's not what he wants to hear. So it's giving he low-key is looking for a freak. He probably thought she was loose, which is why he reached out to her. This is just my opinion, because what else do you want to hear?
What you want to hear?
Listen, these are boys, because there's no way I'm believing this is grown ass or these are grown ass women or grown ass men, sorry, laughing and talking about a grown ass woman.
She down with the calls tonight?
And then see Martell, she's down for the cause tonight. Look at how he's laughing. He's all face. Look at him, his whole face, closed eyes, face, he looks like a kid excited. And this is you talking about a woman, right? Like, what is so funny about down for tonight? It's like, what's going on? Then see all these grown ass people, grown ass boys, really. Look at him kicking his feet up, so excited. It's like, what are we doing? How are we kids?
This boy is a fool.
He said, yes. You got one night to prove your worth.
Did you hear that? You got one night to prove your worth. It's like, what in the world is going on? And look at both their faces. He's kicking, he's laughing, the rest of them are laughing.
Wow.
You see? Lance said, wow.
Hey, that's
Even there, he said, dang, right? Like, that man looks like, what the hell?
so up.
Can you see? He said, that's so effed up.
What have you learned so far?
What I look good together, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I learned that I didn't know she looked that good in a bodysuit until tonight. I saw.
Destiny, if you give him the cat, this is on you, honey. Because look at how he's talking and laughing. If you give him the cat, the whole world is going to know about it. It's not going to be on the low, baby. and he will be talking about you however he feels like it. So don't be scared if you start saying like, oh, the cat wasn't good or the cat stank if you give him a cat. I'm just saying, because if he's out here so public on a first date, he ha ha laughing at you, that is crazy work. Tommy says at his grown age is real, like, sir, with the full face of beard, you're still speaking this way about a woman. Absolutely. These men are dang near 40. They're almost 40 years old and they're all here kicking and laughing. And, it just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, Destiny needs to screen these men. Don't be giving them, you want to hang out with me? Let's hang out outside of camera time, baby. Let's hang out outside of camera time first. Let's talk. Let me see if it's genuine or you're just using me to get on screen, to get a little check. Very, very disappointing.
Sorry before, but tonight was different.
You guys know about each other?
Who? Will and I?
Yeah. With
So I bless whatever it is that anybody wants to do. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all done or y'all still dating?
Who?
You and Destiny.
Oh, we're done.
Okay.
Finito.
Oh, you're actually dating?
It's just like, goodness me. Guys, for those who have just come in, please hit that like button. Let's not be stingy with the likes. The likes are not matching. So please hit that like button. Thank you. Tommy says, including her best friend Martell, he didn't even support her. Martell is nobody's best friend. So I don't know why Destiny is out here lying to herself about Martell being her best friend. Whatever the case may be, that man ain't your best friend, honey. That man is not your best friend. That man is over there kicking and laughing when someone is basically insinuating that you have one night to prove your worth. If any of my friends laugh, girl, okay, maybe you can laugh a little bit, but you need to check him. You need to check him because that's unacceptable. A man can't come from nowhere and be talking about, I have one night to prove my worth. I would be pissed to find out my friends were kicking and thinking it's funny. And no one said it, no one said a word to defend me, you know? The only person that seemed to have an issue with it was Lance, but even Lance didn't say too much. Lance just said, dang. And I'm like, dang is really not gonna cut nothing. So yeah, absolutely not. Public frenemy number 1 is choosing violence, honey. She is saying Dusty is no damsel in distress. Now, I completely agree with that, but I still think it's not okay for these women, can you see I'm even calling them women? It's not okay for these men to be kicking and laughing about a woman and talking about she has one night to prove herself. I just think about it as, if it's another woman that isn't Destiny, how would I feel about that whole setup? I would still have an issue with the setup. I would still feel like, yeah, nah. Don't be out here laughing and kicking at the expense of a woman, Destiny or otherwise. Tommy says we only have 16 likes. Please hit that like button. And we have like 29 people in here. So please, guys, let's not be stingy. Hit that like button, please, and thank you. All right.
I didn't know y'all dated.
Oh, it was a little something. That's why we're sitting here. That's why it was a little awkward.
That's why I was lost. I was truly lost.
As tall as you are, you didn't know you were a rebound.
Okay, so this person is really trying to rub it in. You didn't know you were a rebound. But to be honest, the only bit I really wanted to talk about is you have one night to prove your worth. Because I cannot believe that all these grown-ass men had nothing to say but laughing at the expense of a woman. I just don't get that. But that's what a lot of men do. So I can't say that I'm surprised here at all. Now, the other clip I wanted to show you guys is this one, because I feel like it needs to be said, and you guys are probably not going to like what I have to say. For those of you who like Kimmi, I am going to be calling out this behavior tonight. So if you guys are very sensitive and you love Kimmi and you don't want to hear me put Kimmi in her place tonight, you know what to do.
Kimmi, you're the mediator, so it's hard to mediate. I'm good. I've been in a circle of friends.
Here is the thing. If you ask someone a question, you already said. So for those who haven't watched it, just a little bit of backstory. Tisha basically addressed what Nell said about not bringing her business, like staying out of her MFM business or something like that, right? Tisha needs to stay in her effing place, something along those lines, right? Tisha asked Nell about it. Nell said, well, I said that and I meant it, right? And so she's like, yeah, but that's strong words. And she's like, yeah, that's how I feel. Just stay, don't, I don't want to talk about anything to do with my daughter, my granddaughter, right? That's it. That's all. That was the end of it. So then they're asking her if she's good, and she's like, yeah, she's good. The next thing, everyone seems to be making an issue about the fact that she's good. I can feel like stay in your effing place, but me and you don't have beef. Just stay in your effing place. Now, if you don't stay in your effing place, then we will have beef. Those are completely different scenarios. And so it just felt like they were trying to antagonize Nell. And clearly, Nell does not know how to keep her temper on point. So she reacted. But at the same time, I don't feel like, I'm not really going to hold Nell accountable that as much as I will be holding Kimmi accountable on this one. Because she started it.
Friends that say I'm good
Me too.
when they not good.
And we don't want history to repeat itself.
It's like y'all trying to make it something it's not.
Now you said.
You see, you are trying to make it something that it's not. So they keep saying, oh, we don't want history to repeat himself, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely giving parallels. I think that now that Melody is no longer on the show, Nell is the next person they want to antagonize. And so it's like, and this is the thing, it's like there is a pattern. These people are constantly doing stuff like this where they find somebody and they antagonize the person, and then they are surprised when you react. So here is where Kimmi lost me. Let me play this for you guys.
Keep my name out your mother mouth.
And I said why I said.
Exactly. Then Nell said, and I said why I said that. And that's the thing. It's like, just because I tell you to keep my name out of your effing mouth, I said what I said. It's very self-explanatory. So if you're not keeping my name in your effing mouth, then we don't have any issues. But if you do, then we're gonna have issues. I don't think anything that Nell did in that moment was wrong. She said what she said. And that's that.
And it made it something. Don't act like we're trying to make your
problem.
I
said why I said it. Ooh.
And I know Trish is in the middle of it. I know she's in the middle of it.
But when I hear the ladies outside going at it, I instantly know that it's probably Tisha and Nell. So I'm making the beeline over there. I've been thinking about it all night, and I'm going out there to make sure that my wife is calmed down and separated.
I'm not saying
We don't.
Right. So then it's like, okay, the men come out. Of course, unfortunately, I can't fast forward it. If I could fast forward it, I'd have fast forwarded it and moved it away from the guys coming out. So the guys tried to come out to sort of try and figure out what is going on. So at the moment, it's still a little bit calm, but let's keep going.
I don't have to talk about my problem.
Exactly. So now it's like, I don't have to talk about my problem. The truth of the matter is Tisha and Kimmi don't be talking about ish. They don't be talking about ish. So if Miss Nell does not want to talk about nothing, then that is okay. She shouldn't have to talk about anything. If you lot can get away with not sharing your personal business for as long as you guys haven't shared your personal business, then that's on you. Right? That is on you. That ain't got nothing to do with anybody. So I just feel like, yeah, Kimmi is just too much. Why are you sitting so close? Why do you feel like you're about to start
Everyone
talking to
here got
Lady?
their
Leave her alone. They just want to antagonize her. And they clearly know that Nell has a short fuse. So they are trying to antagonize her even further. But guys, please hit that like button. I can see that a few people have just come in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. We're just talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, and particularly the scene between Nell and Kimmi. Yeah, please hit that like button. Okay, let me play this again.
To yell at us, though.
I'm doing what everyone else is doing, okay?
Exactly. So now all of a sudden, everyone has this issue with Nell yelling. And my thing is, all of you are piping up. All of you seem to have lots to say. All of you have this energy, right? Your voices are raised. Everybody's voices are raised, right? So it just feels like everybody's voices are raised. Everybody is escalating things that don't need to be escalated. So, but for y'all to then say that Nell is the one yelling is crazy to me. No, you guys are all raising your voice. Listen.
Do you expect me not to say nothing?
So it's like, you guys can't be talking to this woman. And she already said what she said and she's good. You guys kept dragging it. Now look. Now she's upset and you guys want to say she's yelling.
You can talk, but you're yelling at us.
Do you think I'm talking? You might be talking to me.
Right. And so it's like everybody's voices are raised. It would be different if Kimmi's voice was particularly like down and she's like, "Nell, don't yell at me." No, your voice is also being raised from early on, Kimmi. You don't like people raising their voice at you, but you are raising your voice at people.
What y'all think I'm doing here? Gang up on me?
So now she calls them out as, what do you think you're doing? You feel like you're ganging up on me. And guess what? I feel like she caught them. That is exactly what they were trying to do. And because she called it out, that was it. That's when Kimmi then decides to pipe up and say nonsense.
Victim.
I didn't say you. I'm strictly talking about 1.0 and 2.0. Because I didn't see this coming from you.
Yeah, because she didn't see this coming from you because, and I know people want to act a little bit like, or Kimmi and Tisha want to act like they don't know what the heck they're doing. But it's like, you guys can't poke at people. And when they respond, you guys want to act like you're innocent. That, for me, that is one of the biggest things I cannot stand. Like, you can't poke at people and then they respond, then all of a sudden, oh, you're yelling. Like, dude, you started it. So if I'm yelling, I'm yelling. Like, what the hell? What the helly?
Like, really?
Hey, listen, let's not overreact.
Hey, Nell, let me tell you
What is
something.
this? Oh, hell,
I dump
no,
your
no, no,
ass
no.
in that pool. You
You
keep
want
hollering
dump
at me.
And then she said, I'll dump you in that pool if you keep yelling at me. It's like, girl, who you gonna dump in the pool? So I'm with Nell because how dare you escalate it to that extent and talk about dumping someone in the pool? The audacity.
Tell you something. You Nell. I keep hollering at me.
Nell was like, okay. Like, Nell was like, I am ready. No chance of you dumping me in the pool. Now, I will say this. Kimmi is wrong. She is wrong. You were the one that started raising your voice. Then told the lady she can't raise her voice when she decided to raise her voice because she got a little bass in her voice and her voice is definitely louder than yours. But honey, you started it. The lady said she was good, yet you kept dragging it. You kept bringing it up. Oh, you don't. She said she is good. She addressed it. Let it go. You guys kept picking at her, picking at her. And then now, what do you have? This is, see where things have gone. And so it's, for me, it is absolutely craziness that this was even allowed to happen. That Kimmi had the audacity to say to Nell that she is going to throw her in the pool if she keeps yelling at her. You can't threaten someone with physical violence and be surprised that the person gets up and now is in your face. You started that ish. And so later on, Nell, Kimmi comes around and apologizes. But I'm just like, nah, you're not going to apologize and say someone shouting is what triggered you when you were the one that started shouting to raise your voice to begin with. You couldn't have been that triggered when you were raising your voice at somebody. And so it was definitely given that they are trying to gaslight Nell as much as possible and make Nell into the problem. Tommy says, Kimmi was doing too much. I was so confused when she threatened to throw her into the pool. Completely agree. It was so out of order. Why are you threatening? Why are you threatening to throw this grown ass woman in a pool? Who do you think you are? And what do you think she's going to say? Oh no, please don't throw me in the pool. Of course, she's not going to be cool with that. Of course, she's going to be pissed. Of course, she's going to pipe up. You know? So I don't understand. I really don't understand why Kimmi looks a little bit like, oh, now it's like, of course she's piping up. It's never going to be cool. Ain't nobody going to tell me they're going to throw me in the pool and I'll be, sitting down sweet and calm about it. Heck no. And so I definitely understand Nell getting up. And I just really didn't like that Kimmi kept saying that. I just didn't like the way Nell was yelling and, it triggered me and it took me back to like when, my dad in the house that used to yell. I'm like, please, your ass was wrong. You were wrong because you were the one that started raising your voice first. Nell was not even raising her voice until you did. So the fact that they are able to gaslight her and then say, oh, she's trying to make herself out to be a victim, when you guys triggered and gaslighted that woman is crazy to me. Good afternoon, Super. How are you? Thank you so much for joining tonight. Doing their best to gaslight Nell like their husbands normally gaslight them. Oh, ain't that the truth? I feel like this is the thing that I find sometimes with people that are victims of gaslighting and manipulation. A lot of people that experience gaslighting and manipulation end up then becoming gaslighters and manipulators themselves. The same thing they're experiencing at home, they bring it into their relationships with other people and then replicate that same behavior. And it is so sad to see. Because how do you then make it seem like Nell is acting like she is the victim when in reality, you guys were the ones that started raising your voices first? And then the fact that everyone was saying, oh, Nell, you keep yelling. It's like everyone sees her reaction, but it's like all of a sudden, everybody has forgotten what led to that reaction, to be honest, in the first place. Because if Kimmi let it go and wasn't constantly bringing up this whole Nell saying she's good and people saying they're good, but they're not, it's like, girl, stay out of it. That had nothing to do with you. Yet you brought it into the mix. It had nothing to do with you. And so I just feel like I wish that someone else would have stepped in instead of them trying to make Nell to be the issue. And I feel like it's just reminiscent of how they always try to make Melody seem like the issue. And it is a pattern with this show. They find somebody, they pick on somebody, and then everybody makes that person the target. And it's starting to feel like Nell is now being the target. I guess the one benefit of this happening to Nell is Nell would finally see and have empathy for what Mel had to encounter and what Mel had to deal with in this dynamic. Because I think it's so easy when you're outside looking in to think, oh, well, maybe there's something about her. Honey, now you're in the case. Now you're in her same shoes, and you can see how everyone is doing you. How the Scots are ganging up against you. How Kimmi and Tisha are ganging up against you. And they're tag teaming you. It doesn't feel good, does it? Imagine how Melody felt when it always felt like everybody was tag teaming her. When you could have stood up to be a good friend to her, now you're on the receiving end of this nonsense. I bet it doesn't feel so good, does it now? Ken already said in his confessionals he will not deal with that type of dude she wants to deal with. Oh yes, I think that was in relation to Will. Yeah, I completely agree. Will is definitely out of order for that. Now, thank you so much to those who have just joined in. Please hit that like button, everybody. Please hit that like button. The likes still are not matching the amount of people, so please, y'all, don't be stingy with the likes or the dislikes if that's how you feel. But please hit one of those buttons, and please also share the live as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely riding with Nell on this one. I think that Kimmi was definitely trying to gaslight her and also gaslight the audience because she knows that she came across like a lunatic, in my opinion. And so I think she was trying to then clean it back by coming out here to the rest of the people to then try to clean it up. So that's what I really think it is. So it says, Kimmi tried it. You threatened to dump Nell in the pool and started acting confused when she matched your energy 10 times. Yep. Clock it. Nell ain't told one lie and wasn't yelling. Kimmi is just mad that Nell was standing 10 toes in it. Yep. Nell definitely got some squabble in her. Seemed like they were trying to gaslight her and never tell me what you gonna do to me. Like, what? Kimmi raised her voice first. Facts. Another person that is really watching. Kimmi raised her voice, so Nell matched her tone. You can't gaslight her afterwards to tell her to stop yelling like she didn't start it first. Like, stop it. Exactly. And this is one of the things that I would say I like about the Love and Marriage Huntsville watchers. People can see. People see. Because I'm like, I've not seen nobody, not one person ride for Kimmi yet. I'm sure there would be one, but I haven't seen one yet because people are looking at it and seeing how they're trying to make Nell the problem and gaslight Nell. LOL, Kimmi tried to check Miss Nell's temperature and found out it's burn your mouth hot. Okay. Kimmi definitely raised her voice first and threatened Nell after she told her multiple times there was no issue. Exactly. This is the thing. This is the reoccurring theme because it's like it is so clear that they have said it, they have made it clear. Literally, Nell has made it clear I ain't got no issues. Yet she didn't let it go. It's like the lady doesn't have issues. Let it go. Why do you keep making it seem like there's some issue when there is none? So Kimmi definitely wanted a problem and they'll give it to her. Okay. I don't think she was yelling any louder than they were, so I'm kind of confused. Yes, girl. Get Kimmi and Tisha off the show, please. Yes, that's the thing. It's like a lot of them, I feel like they're definitely double teaming everybody. And it's like, or when you already have a backup person, so you have someone that always co-signs your nonsense. And so that's what I feel like it is. I feel like they are both there to co-sign each other. Even if the other is wrong, dang wrong, then it doesn't make a difference. They would still be out here riding for each other. That is what I am starting to pick up and learn. Someone says, get Timmy and Tisha off the show. Yeah, rich that. My money's on Nell. Nell was not wrong. Kimmi is out of line. Yes. Kimmi and Tisha are exhausting. Like, new cast, please. Exactly. That's the thing. I feel like they've made these women feel like they're the HBCIUs when it's like, are they really? Are they though? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, guys, please let's get the likes up to at least 35 likes. So please hit that like button, guys. Thank you. Okay. Destiny said she's not the only one yelling in response to Tisha. Oh, I didn't even hear that. But I'm glad somebody said it if she really did say it, because that is completely unacceptable. And crazy, crazy that I've not heard nobody say anything in support of Kimmi and Tisha. It's like everybody knows they were dang wrong. Someone said, Kimo, please, you've been on this seasons, and this is the first time we heard you saying yelling don't work for you and you have a short fuse. It's true, it's a lie. It's just an excuse because she has been caught red-handed treating Nell terribly and gaslighting Nell. And she knows what the viewers are going to see. So she is trying to clean up the act. This is my personal belief. I believe that completely. This is what I feel like these people are trying to do, in my opinion. Okay. So let's move on. Well, guys, please hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let's get the likes to 35 likes, please, and thank you. So please keep hitting that like button. Okay, so to be honest, should we even watch this? Well, maybe let's see what's coming up next.
Next on Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Kimmi said, "Don't you yell at me."
So now is basically trying to let Chris know what happened. Okay?
Well, what the you think you doing right now?
She made the comment, if you yell at her again, she gonna dunk you in that pool.
Oh my god. I actually like the way these two be like recapping the scene sometimes. It's quite funny to me. It's just funny seeing them both talk about it. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with both of their assessment.
That mother in that pool before me.
When Kenny comes into the picture and the kids are saying there's a breath of fresh air, let me gravitate towards the fresh air. You're saying, wait a minute, whoa, what?
Okay, it looks like Dr. Francis is going to be on Trisha. Come on. It is good. It's refreshing to see scenes where it's more deeper issues as opposed to just the trivial nonsense that we have going
What about me? I've had you all this time. He's the new kid on the block.
I was jealous when he came along and they started asking him instead of me. It kind of made me feel some type of way.
I love that Trisha is finally opening up because I feel like we haven't seen her open up on the show. So it's refreshing to see her open up about like all the stuff that she's been dealing with, she's dealt with previously, and her feelings. I think it's not very easy to be able to openly say that you were jealous of the man that you brought into your children's lives because your children gravitated towards the man and not you. Like that is a huge thing to come out of somebody's mouth. And so I have to respect her being able to actually get to the point where she is able to address this and on camera. It ain't easy at all. I don't even think I would have the strength to be able to say that on national TV if I were in her shoes. So shout out to her for at least being able to be vulnerable about that. I'm sure that there would be other people who can relate to that. So it's good that at least we're getting something else that is not this manufactured nonsense and Tisha and Kimmi fighting for the head bitch. Oh, I don't even swear. How did that come out of my mouth? Sorry, guys. Head be in charge. Okay. So as you guys see, Owen has decided to bring Wanda back on the show. Just know it's about to be some ghetto ass mess. Ooh, oh girl, you are shady today, honey. What is this, honey? No, but seriously, it's about to be so interesting. We'll see. We will see. Honestly, I feel like for me, I definitely did not like some of the comments made in the past. So, but we'll see. I'll keep an open mind and let's see how things with Wanda comes about on the show.
Come on, girl. Yeah, you got your truck. The
So first of all, I hear that she can cook. So I guess hopefully we see the food. It'll be nice to see the food because I've heard that she can cook. I've never, like, you guys know, I don't live over there, so I don't know. But I've heard that she can cook. So it would be interesting to see, at the end of the day, I would never knock anyone, having their business and stuff. So it would be nice. I guess we'll see what comes up on the show with that. But yeah, I just don't know what kind of drama she is going to bring on the show. And I don't know if I'm ready for that.
So I felt like I was losing my kids.
Okay, so I love that she decided to have that conversation with Ken and say, I feel like I was losing my kids. But yeah, that's, like I said, it's a very, very vulnerable thing to be able to open your mouth and say all of that. Now, the other issue I have with Love Americans was like, why is this next on? You guys have shared almost everything that will be coming up on the show. It's like, what else do we have to look forward to, honey? You've given us everything that is going to be coming up. So it'll be nice to keep a little something for our imagination as well. Because that is very, very weird to me. So, guys, we have 40 something people in the chat, but we don't have that amount of likes. So please, please hit the like button. Please and thank you. I'm going to continue to be asking y'all to hit that like button. You guys better just do it so I don't have to keep saying it. Please and thank you. Okay, so now for those of y'all who may or may not know, there was a whole thing that came up recently about Porsha. So let me first remove this. Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up. But yeah, there was a whole thing that came up about Porsha and Porsha being on a flight and all of that, and Porsha. There were some allegations about Porsha potentially hitting a woman or whatever on the flight. We watched the videos. We of course did not believe the lady. But guess who is now speaking up? Okay, so this was the incident. I'm just gonna put that in front of so y'all have that in your memory. So guess who had something to say about it all? Mr. Simon Gorbadia. Okay. I guess Simon is over there in Dubai and still has a lot to say. So essentially, Simon basically said, now shout out to Michelle because Michelle is the source of this. She had a text with Simon and she was basically trying to figure out, like, does he have thoughts about it? Now, let me just put my banner up because I did not see those text messages. But allegedly, what Simon said to Michelle is, I think anyone who believes Portia's version of events is being incredibly naive. Those quick hands of hers likely knocked that woman's phone away before anyone could see what happened. Basically, it sounds like Simon is saying whatever they said she did it. And what people captured was probably the tail end where the woman appears to be overreacting. And she has repeated, so he basically also is saying that Porsha has repeatedly demonstrated a tendency towards violent behavior, and he nearly became a victim when Porsha filed for divorce because she arrived at home with armed security in an attempt to provoke a reaction from him. So that's what he had to say. What do you guys think about what Simon had to say? Now, I personally feel like, Simon, you could have just kept it as no comment. There's no need for you to say all of that, considering Porsha was cleared of these charges. And you saying that anyone that believes Porsha's version of the events is incredibly naive, I think that's a stretch considering there were multiple witnesses who supported Porsha's version of events. So you mean to tell me that on a flight with everybody, I don't know how quick Porsha could possibly be. How quick can Porsha be that she did that and not one person saw Porsha do it? Like, if Porsha is that good, wow. I don't know. Maybe she needs to sign up for a new job fighting people, because I don't understand how quick could Porsha possibly be that nobody on the flight saw her hit this woman. I don't believe that for a second. So I think that Simon is just doing what Simon does. I think Simon has an opinion about Porsha. And even when I think about Simon's comment about Porsha bringing security to the house or bringing armed people to the house, my thing is, if Porsha is trying to get a reaction, why would she bring security? It's almost like she brought security to prevent anything from escalating. That would be my perspective about someone bringing security. I wouldn't think someone is bringing security so that you would do something crazy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's definitely given she brought security because she doesn't want anybody accusing her of anything, and she wanted to have witnesses, and she wanted to be protected from anything escalating. So I don't really know. I just think that Porsha probably regrets the day she ever decided to marry that man, because it's like, when is enough going to be enough? When would he finally not have to have opinions about anything to do with her? When is he ever going to fully let things go? We do not know. But it is very, very sad that, like, years later, how long has the divorce been going on for now? It's like, why are we still talking about Porsha? And I'm with Tommy. Tommy says Simon needs to let it go and heal, I beg. Yeah, he just needs to let it go. Take a chill pill. Relax. Relax, Simon. Like, ain't no need to be, you don't have to comment on these things. There is no need for all of that. No need at all. So yeah, I'm just glad that Porsha has been cleared, and just as an update, Porsha has been cleared of all of this allegations. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of people, where I did see like a mixture of people basically saying Porsha did what the heck they said Porsha did, blah blah blah, before it came out that Porsha was cleared of all the charges. But I am glad that she was cleared of all the charges, and I hope this is a lesson to her to make sure she keeps her hands to herself in the future, because I say that not because she did anything now, but because when you have a history of, putting your hands on anyone, even if you felt justified, this is what happens. People create this or have this perception of you. And even when you are innocent, it's so easy for people to be able to dump on you and say you're this when you're innocent. And so I'm definitely glad that at least that has been cleared up. And no charges are being pressed against her. I think it would be interesting to see if charges get pressed against the other lady, because you can't go around saying that you feel like someone is trying to unalive you. I feel like that is excessive, that is extreme, and somebody needs to do something about that, because what you don't want is somebody like that who feels like they can do whatever, say whatever, and still have people randomly, constantly, you know, running after them, and have people constantly defending whatever it is that they are saying. Like, people like that will go on to do it again. And so I think that Porsha needs to press charges need to be filed against her, charges of some sort. But I don't think that that is going to happen. I will be shocked if that happens, to be completely honest. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Porsha needs to file or try to get charges pressed against this lady, or should she just let it go? If you guys were in Porsha's situation or Porsha's shoes, what will you guys do? Let me know in the chat. I will also put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up and chat tonight. But yeah, we do have quite a few bits to talk about as well. So, but yeah, I'm just going to put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up at any time throughout the live, so you guys have that in there. But yeah, I do agree. I feel like Simon just needs to let it go, rest. Like, please. It would be nice to not have to be talking about Porsha and Simon in 2026, honey. Let us leave it all in 2025. Hopefully, Simon can as well. Okay, let's talk about Brit Edie, honey. Brit Edie. Now, I don't know if any major platforms have covered it yet. I don't see it here. I do not see it here. We'll also talk about Candy Burris in a second, so maybe let me not close this. I want to see if anyone has talked about the Brit Edie of it all. Because I know previously, I think we had initially talked about Brit Edie filing a lawsuit against Bravo. Then we found out it wasn't a proper lawsuit. Eventually, it wasn't a full-on lawsuit. It was like a summons or something like that. And then now we're finding out that she has actually filed a lawsuit. So I don't think any major people, major, like when I say major, I just mean like Neighborhood Talk or the Shade Room, have talked about it yet. I don't think they have talked about it yet. But I will say that, yeah, I can't see it anywhere that it has been raised. But I would say Michelle covered it and Michelle read parts of the lawsuit. So what I'm sharing would be stuff that I got from Michelle addressing it. So the big thing is Brit has officially filed the lawsuit. And of course, she's filed the lawsuit basically against Bravo. And it's all along the same lines of the revenge piece situation, right? Do you guys think that Brit Edie has a case? Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Brit has a case? Do you think Brit should have actually filed a lawsuit, or do you think that she should have let it go? Let me know. I want to kind of take a poll. How many people feel like Brit should have let it go? And how many people feel like Brit is justified in filing a lawsuit? Let me know what you guys think. Put a yes in the chat if you feel like Brit should have filed a lawsuit. Put a yes in the chat if you feel like Brit should have filed a lawsuit. Put a no in the chat if you feel like she shouldn't file a lawsuit. Okay, I'm just going to give you guys some time to respond to that. Put a yes in the chat if you feel like she should have filed a lawsuit. Put a no in the chat if you don't feel like she should have filed a lawsuit. Okay, so I see a yes in the chat. So you feel like Brit should have filed a lawsuit. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? What do you guys think? Okay. So it sounds like you guys think Brit should have filed a lawsuit. And yes, I definitely agree. I feel like there's no way anybody will put up a poster and make it seem like it is me when in fact it ain't me. And then expect that I have to then go to work with the same person that filed this, that did this to me, that put this so-called poster and made it seem like this was me. And then now I have to continue to work with them? Absolutely not. And so, yes, and to be honest, it's like everybody that I've seen in the chat seems to be saying yes. So the people that have responded said yes. So I completely agree. Because there is no way it is okay for you to imagine. Just think about it for a second. Imagine I'm going to work and my coworker, I think sometimes because we think it's reality TV, we don't really think about it like that. But think about it. My coworker and I are going to work, or we're at work. And then someone decides to display pictures and say it is me doing that. Like doing sexual acts and say, oh yeah, isn't this you on like, no. I would be reporting to HR. I would be leaving that job. I would be saying emotional distress, filing for emotional distress. I would be suing everybody that I can sue. And so I think Brit is absolutely justified. And I hate that a lot of Kenya fans try to minimize that, because I always think like if that happened to Kenya, the world will end. She will not be okay with that. And so why should we be okay with certain behaviors just because we like somebody? Like, there's nothing wrong in liking a person, but if they're wrong, they are wrong. And it's never okay to go to that extent. And people feel like, oh yeah, she should have just sucked it up and gone back to work. And from the lawsuit, it's really giving the impression they expected Brit to come back to work with Kenya. They expected her to come back to work with Kenya. Imagine. So it just shows you that Bravo. Okay, let me be careful about what I say. I guess that makes me question whether Bravo felt like what Kenya did was that bad. Because it's like, did they truly think that it was that bad? Or is it because there was so much outcry about it that Bravo then decided to take action? That's my question. Tommy says, I think she has a case and is very justified to file that lawsuit. I completely agree. I think she is. It's definitely not okay for someone to be subjected to that. And I think what is also very interesting is her saying that they were creating a hostile work environment, because it sounds like they were basically trying to bring Kenya back on the show and have her film with Kenya. Right? So he says defendants chose to amplify the event and repeatedly re-traumatize ED with it. Defendants traded on the graphically sexualized nature of the event to coerce ED into traumatic workplace discussions of her life's most intimate sexual moments. This was not Real Housewives as usual. It was harassment and it was retaliation. And ED, right, exactly, brings this case to hold defendants to account for their horrific behavior. And I agree with that. And if you guys remember when we first covered the story, I said to you guys that even the people that were subjected to actual images, right, may even potentially be able to raise some sort of claim. Because I'm sorry, if I'm going to a public event and nobody is giving me no trigger warning or something, and I suffer emotional distress because I'm having to watch something like that, it is harassment. I shouldn't have to see that when it's not like I went on to a corn site. It's not acceptable. Tommy says, had it been any other housewife, the outrage would have been a lot. What Kenya did is totally unacceptable. Absolutely. And I think that I wish that a lot of people will separate people, even just because I like somebody. If anybody that I like behaved like that, I will still be calling them out. Just because I like somebody does not mean that horrific behavior isn't horrific behavior. And I think people get to this point where they feel like I like somebody, so I have to stand by everything they do. Absolutely not. Just because I like you does not mean that I will not tell you the truth. That doesn't mean that I will not call you out if your actions are horrible and unacceptable. I will be calling you out. But I can separate. It's me calling out the behavior. That doesn't mean I think you're a horrible person. I just think that the behavior you exhibited is horrible. It's unacceptable. It's harassment, in my opinion. Right? And so I just feel like, yeah, it is sad because it feels like if it wasn't Brit in question and maybe somebody else that is more liked by the fans, I think that it would have gone down differently. Let's say Kenya did this to Nene, people would have been up in arms about it. But because it was to Brit, a new girl who people weren't really seeing it for, I think that's why it was allowed to fly as much as it did. Now, let's move on to Todd and Candy. So, just there's been some breaking news that Quad and not Quad, Candy and Todd are getting a divorce. So, Candy and Todd split after 11 years of marriage. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with the divorce. So Candy was the one that announced that she was splitting, and she made this announcement on the 21st of November. So she then says, I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a very difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains in protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co parenting with love and respect. So she basically tells people all of this information. Then she says, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. Now, I do think it's very interesting. There is a lot of I and I and I. So it's definitely given that this ain't a joint statement. It's given that this is strictly from Candy. I think it's very interesting that they're not giving a joint statement, which makes me feel like something must have happened that triggered the break or the divorce or whatever it is that is going on between them. Because it's like there's a lot of I ask for privacy, I this, as opposed to we have made the decision, we have done this, we have done that, which then begs the question, what happened? Now, I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of people have been posting all sorts lately. They have been finding all types of clips, basically saying that, see one here. They warned you, Candy. Listen, in my life, I've learned to listen to the older Black women, especially the ones from the South. They're not 18. They see something that you don't. Okay.
To marry.
And now people are bringing back the old clip.
Why? I just don't, baby. Wait a minute, what you shaking your head for? I don't either. Oh.
So all of them did not like Mr. Todd.
Oh my gosh. Seriously. Well, you know how I feel about it.
The sound effects is sending me. This was when Real Housewives of Atlanta was funny. Like the sound effects are cracking me up. My goodness. Was not ready for these sound effects, honey.
I don't.
Someone said Todd had a good run. Order. This is when Todd was talking to them, Don Juan and the team, and was talking to them a little crazy. Now, this cracked me up a little bit, and I miss Wendy, man. Someone said if Wendy Williams was still on air, she would say this. All right. So it's official. But you could see that it was going to happen. Candy in Atlanta is officially divorcing Todd after 11 years. And the audience were like, oh. And then it's like, oh, duh. I'm surprised it lasted that long. Remember, she met him while he was working. Working on the show as part of the film crew. And her mother, Joyce, hated her and didn't want her to get married. Then the audience will start talking a little bit. And he says, so she's going to divorce him. Of course, they've got 2 kids. One is 9, one is 6, or something like that. And like nobody does it quite like Wendy. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, this person is really a Wendy fan. Okay, because they were right about the way Wendy speaks, honey. They were right. And I love me some how you doing. I love a Miss Wendy. So please bring Wendy back. Put her on a podcast or something, honey. We need Miss Wendy Williams. Nobody does it quite like her. Please bring me back some Wendy. Super says all the videos are still of Todd and the Glam Squad are still up of Todd and the Glam Squad at Todd Tucker's TV on YouTube. Yes, and I feel like people are now dissecting all those videos because it ain't looking good. So we are going to watch some of the videos. Let's start with this one.
With y'all, for y'all women who are bosses and have all of this money and got this extra shit.
Why saying it like that?
No, because I think, you know, I understand the double standard, but I think you also need to understand the man that you're with, the man that you chose. And
First of all, it's low key given he is telling how he feels. Okay. It's given that he felt some type of way and he was trying to communicate that. And so in these sorts of conversations, it was definitely coming through. A little bit was peeking through. And I think that's definitely what is happening here.
you're allowed to choose you, that you can't be so mine. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I definitely agree with him. In marriage, you can't be so my. It's a joint thing. Like we're all in it together. It should be an our, me, and our, us, all that kind of stuff. I get it. You can't be single-minded if you're married. But I feel like I'm not sure where the rest of it is going. So let's keep going. Super is my girl because I'm just here right now and I'm listening to the my and I'm agreeing with Todd too. But maybe I shouldn't fully agree until I've listened to the whole thing. Said I'm sorry, I agree with Todd in a lot of those videos.
You have to open up within reason. I'm not saying going buying no niggas no Bentleys and doing dumb shit, but you gotta invest in y'all and y'all future, and you gotta let your man feel like a man in those scenarios.
Okay, I guess my question is like, how do you let your man feel like a man in those scenarios? Because that's the question I have. And I say that because I feel like sometimes some men feel like, they want to be spending your money, but they want it to look like they're spending their money. So if you guys go out, instead of you paying, for instance, they want you to pass over the card to them so they can pay. So it looks like their money as opposed to your money. Now I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. That's where I draw the line. I'm not about to be passing my card to you for you to act like you're the one paying. If I'm paying the bills. How about that? Although I will not be paying nobody's bills. Just saying, just putting that out there.
Because with all the money that you have, you can end up by yourself. You know what I mean? Because at times that type of energy of it's mine. No, I'm just being honest as a man. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. With y'all, for y'all women.
Yeah, I definitely think like if you're married, it is ours, right? And I feel like don't marry somebody who you don't necessarily trust with money. And I do agree that people do change and stuff. So I also see the benefit of having a prenup. But I do agree that like it's very important to, when you're married to somebody, that my business should change to a we. Even when I'm dating, right? When I'm dating, a lot of my conversations and when I'm talking about things that affect us, I talk about it as things that affect us as opposed to things that I am doing. It's now a collective, right? And so if I'm trying to do something, I need to make sure that aligns with our goals as a unit as well, and or at the very least will not affect what we have going on, and vice versa, right? So I think that coming from a man, it may sound a little bit crazy, but I think where he says let a man be a man is where I am questioning, like, what does that mean, honey? What does that mean? Because if you want her to be fronting like she don't have it so that you can be fronting like you got it, then that's a no for me. So I wish that, I'm sure that you probably have clarified that as well. Yeah, exactly. And this is where Super and I also agree. I wouldn't want my husband to say mine, mine, mine either. I agree 100%. One of the things, even when I'm like talking to men and, I think about how I'm dating a man, I'm trying to see how you're considering me. Are you placing me in your conversations? Are you thinking about it as an hour thing and this is what we're trying to do, or are you seeing it as this is what you're trying to do, this is your goal, this is that? For me, it's never a good sign. Once you're doing the yours, I'm just thinking you don't have a team mindset, and I don't want to be with someone who feels like they're not part of a team. You're an individual, but you're part of a team if you choose to get into a relationship or a marriage. So yeah.
Who are bosses and have all of this money and got this extra shit.
Why you saying it like that?
No, because I think, I understand the double standard. As a man, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Okay. As you continue to be like, it's mine.
I get it because I understand like making your own money. Like I 100% get it. As a woman who makes her own money, there's of course going to be like you don't want to end up a liability. And we're talking about Candy. That money is long, 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 right? So I completely get it. I completely get it. I don't trivialize how she must feel but I think the bigger issue is when you date somebody who does not make as much as you or who is not around that tax bracket, that's where these sorts of issues start to come in, which is why I'm always very like, oh, I don't want to date, or I don't like to date people that earn less than me, because I just feel like it brings rise to these sorts of situations. Because now he probably doesn't feel adequate because he feels like he's not able to show up in the relationship the way he would want to show up financially, right? And so, by the way, this is us just talking about it. We're not necessarily saying this is what happened in the relationship. I'm just talking specifically about these clips.
It's hard to hear someone say it's mine in a relationship that's supposed to be it's ours. Can I talk? Can I talk?
I really also don't like that you guys are not letting him speak his speech. It's like, let him talk. If he wants to talk, let him talk. Let him talk, and then you can talk right after. But let him say what he wants to say. Right? That's his personal perspective. Let him say it. Let him get it out. You don't have to agree. Let him speak, and then you can speak. So I would say I didn't like that as well. And sometimes it just shows like you're not trying to listen to understand. It's just giving you disagree, so you want to jump in straight away. Super says it's not about money. It's about her not wanting to be a leader because she's the breadwinner and acts like she wears the pants. I make more money, but I will never emasculate my husband. Sis, I hear it. I hear it. Like, at the end of the day, your husband, I don't really know whether or not Candy is a Christian, so I don't know if she believes that her husband is meant to lead. So I don't really know where she stands on that. But at the end of the day, I agree with you in the sense that just because you're the one that makes most of the money doesn't mean that you should emasculate your spouse. I feel like sometimes a lot of men say that they experience being emasculated because their spouse made more than them. And I think it's in two ways. On the one hand, I think sometimes some women do that. And I think on the other hand, some men actually become insecure because their wife makes more than them. Right? So I think if you're with a secure man who knows what he brings to the relationship, then it shouldn't be a big deal. Tommy says, I might be wrong, but I feel like it's because his woman makes more than him. This is an issue because if otherwise, this is a non-issue. Yes, I feel like that's why I said, like, for me personally, I like to just date people who earn at least close enough to what I earn. Um, just because I feel like sometimes when I've dated people who have earned significantly less, the mindset was very much, they were very like, it was definitely given very much like antagonistic towards me and very insecure throughout the relationship. So there was no point like dealing with that. But I wasn't like emasculating anybody. So I don't know if he feels emasculated because he's been emasculated, or if he feels emasculated because deep down he feels inadequate because she earns more. So I think that's where the nuance point comes in.
That's all. And it's not about, hey, I got this 10 million, let me give you 5. It's not that. It's more so just knowing like, yo, we got each other, you know.
Okay, so I guess I hear what he's saying is like, is not necessarily saying that he, you know, he expects her to give him money, but knowing we got each other. But I guess the question is, the way he's saying it gives me the impression this is his personal feelings about his marriage. I may be wrong, but that's the vibe it's given, because it seems like he's passionate about this particular subject, which then makes me feel a little bit like, is that because, like, what could be the reason for that? Is that because of something Candy does, or is that because something that he does? One thing I would say is, personally, I feel like Candy does not check her mom enough when it comes to Todd. I think Candy's mom has always been very disrespectful towards Todd, and Candy has never really checked it. She's always saying, that's my mama. I don't care if that's your mom. Your mom should not disrespect your husband, and vice versa. So I wonder if that is also part of it, because it's not okay for your mom to be able to say some of the things that Candy's mom has said about Todd. And I will not be surprised if that's part of the reason Todd was just like, yeah, this ain't it for me. Because I think recently Candy was saying something about Todd and her mom are not even getting along right now. And so that gives me the impression that if Todd and her mom are not getting along right now, or yeah, it's Todd, the mom, and even her. So it's just like, that's not looking good. Maybe there's something along these lines. Super says Todd quit his job to be with Candy because he couldn't watch for the show and date a castmate. Oh wow, I did not know that. Wow. So yes, well, in that case, yeah, if she is very much doing my, he has the right to be upset, because he definitely quit for her.
Whatever, let's build, let's make it happen. But when you hear a person say mine a lot, that shit sticks. Believe me. As a man, I'm just giving.
When you said at the end, when you hear somebody say mine and mine a lot, that ish sticks. I can't lie, it sounded like he meant it. Sorry, I'm eating Pringles. Let me see if I can find another clip for y'all.
No, that's not even part of the conversation. No, but it is to me, because even in divorce, I don't think it's right when men be trying to take half of the women. I don't think it's cool. Like, I feel like a man should always be a man and be able to handle his own.
So you gained your money while the man was with you, and he nurtured you, he helped you, gave you ideas, he was a part of that, that progression. You don't think he should get anything? You did it all.
The lady who's doing Candy's hair is cracking me up. Look at her facial expression. She's like, what the hell? He works in production and she told him we can build together. So he left. Now. If she... Crazy.
What is he? Nobody said she did it all.
To do that, let's work on this. Like, he's setting you up, he's organizing you, he's getting your shit right.
You saying like a Wendy Williams situation?
Oh, I don't really know that thing, but I'm just saying that he helps you blow up.
I'm saying because he was like her manager, right?
No, I'm just saying someone who like really influences, who's really there. So now you blew up. You wasn't blown up. Now you blew up.
Okay, I like how perfect thing he is now with his wife. But the money I had when I came in this thing,
But nobody's talking about. Nobody's.
No,
even,
but that's
not
Look at Todd's face. You can tell that Todd was getting irritated in this video.
even part of the conversation.
no, but it is to me because what I'm saying is,
Nobody's
no,
even,
but
that's not even part of the conversation.
no, but it is to me because even in divorce, I don't think it's right when men be trying to take half of the women. I don't think it's cool. Like, I feel like a man should always be a man and be able to handle his own.
So you gained your money while the man was with you, and he nurtured you, he helped you, gave you ideas, he was a part of that, that progression. You don't think he should get anything?
I'm going to put that to you guys in the chat. Do you feel that Todd is right here? Where it's like, if a man builds with you, don't you think that he should get something if a divorce happens? Let us know in the chat what you guys think. Because I think it's a very valid question to ask. You really need to go to Todd Talkers TV and watch the videos, especially the one Todd needs a break. Oh wow. Okay. I'll go over there and watch it. I'll watch some of them like later on after this live just so I can get a good picture of it. But yeah. People are probably coming for Todd now in this season without all the context. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with Todd, what Todd is saying? That if you help your woman, build her, helping to support her, if you guys divorce, that you should get maybe half or get a percentage? What do you think?
You did it all.
What is he? Nobody said she did it all.
To do that, let's work on this. Like he's setting you up. He's organizing you. He's getting your shit right.
You said like a Wendy Williams situation.
Oh, I don't really know that thing, but I'm just saying that he helps you blow up.
I'm saying because he was like her manager, right?
No, I'm just saying someone who like really influences, who's really there. So now you blew up. You wasn't blown up. Now you blew up.
Okay, I like how Steve Harvey say he is now with his wife. But the money I had when I came in this thing,
Super said, I agree with Todd because it's a double standard. Super is shaking the table. Shaking the table. Shaking the table. Yeah, I feel you on that. I think anything anybody comes to the table with, so if a premarital asset, I think there's no need for like a split or whatever. Because it's like, I had this before I even met you. Okay. So I would say yes. No need for even a conversation about that. And I think I hear what he's saying, right? Because at the end of the day, if you married somebody and then you guys are now building together, then I can understand wanting to share it, especially if it's a joint effort. Now, what I don't think is being getting some sort of compensation for providing support. So if you are providing support, I don't necessarily think there needs to be some sort of division, because in relationships, you provide support to your spouse anyway, right? But I think if it's beyond the work of like providing support, like we're doing this business together. I'm going to work, you're going to work. I'm doing an aspect of the business, you're doing another aspect of the business, then I can understand like an equal split. But I think if you're not pouring into the business actively and it's just very much like you're just supporting, I'm talking to you about, honey, I'm trying to do this, and you're like, oh yeah, you've got this. Maybe you should add this to it. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Da, 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 da. And we talk about it and I do it and it blows up. I don't necessarily think that means that you should get a percentage of it, or get half of it. I think that where does it stand in terms of support, right? But I also understand if he's like, okay, honey, we're starting a business, let me help you get the furniture, I'm sourcing the furniture, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, then of course he's basically an active participant in that in the building of the business. So I understand him getting a proportion or a percentage of it. But to be honest, I've seen situations where men have been entitled to millions, and I'm not exaggerating, and they have chosen not to accept the millions just because they're just like, okay, I don't really believe in that, collecting money from a woman. So I will say that I have also encountered people like that. I have one person in mind, but of course, I can't give information about him. I think he needs to build his own thing and focus on his own money, not looking to get his woman's money. I definitely get that, but I don't even think that I don't get the impression he's trying to get his woman's money. I think he's just saying that he feels like everyone thinks of the man as okay, but everyone does not see the man as an equal participant, even though he is, even though he's pouring into the business, influencing the business, and basically ensuring that um that things are going well with the business. Stuff like that is what I think I get the impression he's talking about. Candy was controlling and prohibiting Todd from doing things. Is plenty of videos to prove it. This discussion have been going on for 3 years. Wow. Super knows a whole lot more than a lot of us know, because it sounds like she actually watches their YouTube channel, or Todd's YouTube channel. Because if Candy is controlling and stopping him from doing things, I would be pissed. You're not about to stop me from doing things. I will be getting financially compensated for that. I'm not gonna lie. Because you can't stop me from doing my own projects, making my own money, and then I'm not properly compensated for that. Mm-mm. So yeah, I definitely wow. And they've been having these conversations for 3 years. Wow. So I did not know all of that backstory, but thank you very much for sharing the backstory. Because I think a lot of us definitely needed to hear it.
It's to me because what I'm saying is when you and I got together in marriage,
Right.
and we made more businesses, we made more, there are more things happening.
Right.
To me, the money that was made after marriage, that's a different conversation, because yeah, we both contributed, whatever. It's to me because what I'm saying is,
Okay. So it definitely sounds like Candy agrees that money that was made together after the marriage, they definitely need to split. So yeah, that makes sense. I think in that case that makes sense. Because I think they're both kind of saying the same thing, to be honest. But just the way they're saying it is they're very different. So Kenya says it's a husband's job to support his wife, however he can, and vice versa. This doesn't mean a payday. This is what support looks like. Interesting. And this is what I was trying to say when I said depends on whether it is support or whether it means you're actively in the business. If you're just supporting me, then that's different. But if you're equally doing the work, then that is completely different. And then at that point, you're a business partner. Super says Candy wanted Todd to go on tour with her, and he said, I have projects and a team that needs to get paid, and she was not happy. Aha. Definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Super says, I used to watch Todd Tucker TV faithfully. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. Now, thank you very much for your insight, because I think you've given us a lot of insight that I don't think that we would have had. So thank you very much for that. Berlin, shout out to Braylon. Hello, how are you? I feel like diversity is important. Why have one person making a 20 million check from NBC where two people can make that, and that's 40 mil? Must have freedom and trust in others to make it work. If Todd had more freedom to be able to create his own bags, that would have brought more bags into the house. Trust has to be there, and they're building it together. Yeah. And I definitely think like this sort of piggybacks off what Super said, because when we think about the fact that Candy did not want him or wanted him to be focused on her stuff when he could have been doing his other projects, yeah, I think in that case, for things like that, then yes, he needs to be adequately compensated for stuff like that. Definitely needs to be adequately compensated for stuff like that. Because you can't stop me from getting my bag and I'm not getting my bag from our projects. Absolutely not. So, yeah. Okay, so since we're here, let's just listen to this real
I am up and down. And to be clear, yes, I filed Friday, but this is something that, has been brewing for a while. So all the times you be seeing me online like, all of that means nothing. I've been going through it, child. I've been going through it. Life has been lifing me. Okay? Thank you. Well, what I will say is, Todd and I were together our marriage lasted 11 years. We was together like 14. We got 2 wonderful, beautiful children. I have no regrets. Okay? So, I mean, sometimes things don't work out, and it just is what it is. So that I filed for divorce. Feeling today. Okay, Sage. I'm going to be very honest with you. I am up and down. Obviously going through a divorce is definitely not the easiest thing. Sometimes, you're cool, you know what I mean? You're moving, you're mixing, you're moving, and you're hanging out with friends. But then sometimes you have your moments of sadness, and me being the Taurus that I am. I like to keep those moments to myself. When I was on Housewives, I really couldn't keep moments to myself when I got upset, so y'all would catch me crying. But in real life, my everyday life, I don't really like for those moments to be shared with the world. So, but I am sharing with my Amazon family today. So, feeling today.
Wow. I wish her and Todd the best. I hope that they're able to both take care of their mental health. And I wish all of the parties involved the best, because divorce is not easy. So I definitely wish everybody the best, honestly. That's the best that I can say. According to TMZ, Todd has the children now until March, while Candy is in New York for her play. Okay. Interesting. Bless her. I'm sure it must even be harder on her not having the children for that long. Not having the children for that long. I hope she's still able to actually physically go see the kids, because that is a long time to be without your children. So I really do hope that. Someone said Todd must have done something egregious. Not using egregious in the words of Porsha. For Candy to throw in the towel. She seems like the epitome of ride or die. The thing is, she spoke because the cheating rumors of Fatum being her girlfriend is exhausting. People love making things up, and it's sad that Mama Joyce is happy while she's going through it. Can't even lean on your mom while life is lifing. It takes a lot for a Taurus woman to leave a man, to have a very high tolerance for BS, and too loyal for your own good. I love when they finally got the strength to leave situations that are not best for them. Wow. Yeah. Honestly, I do not know what happened in that marriage, but I don't even know if I want to speculate. But she definitely looks hurt about the situation. I think in one of the clips, she looks like she was about to cry. So I definitely think like something must have happened. Excuse me, that really, really did break her heart. Berlin said it does look like she is really hurt, even though she filed. It seems like she still wants to see what can be. You can hear it in her voice. Yeah, I definitely think like it sounds like she is definitely heartbroken by it all. But I guess the bit I kind of think about is I don't necessarily know if they're likely to get back together, because I feel like for somebody like Candy, before as someone who is very private, before they put their business out, they must really feel like it's over. And so, of course, we always hope for reconciliation, but I don't even know if that's going to be possible. Super says Fatum is their sister wife, allegedly, honey. I saw those clips going around of all of them, of all three of them on holiday, and it seemed like they were all very, very cozy. So very, very interesting. I don't know if there's some truth to that. What I do know is Candy has openly said that she does threesomes and they do threesomes in their marriage. So I don't know what it could be. Super says, I think the split is over finances. They have suffered a lot of financial losses. It could be that, to be honest. Like, finances is one of the biggest factors that that makes marriages end in divorce. So I'm not surprised. I think finances can put a lot of strain on people. I know sometimes people want to act like finances are not important, but finances can put a lot of pressure. It can put a lot of pressure on relationships. So I will not be surprised if it is finances related at all. I will say that. Okay. All right. Let's move on to some of the other tea. We still have quite a bit to talk about. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull this out. We still haven't talked about the Real Housewives of Potomac latest episode, actually. But let's talk about this first. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, for those who have just come in, you're welcome. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Thank you.
Appreciate Bravo working with me.
Did you know you was gonna be a friend?
They had said it, but I didn't think they was gonna do this shit. I really didn't. I really did not. Honestly, I was like, because my story is so prevalent this season, I was like, I'm a businesswoman.
Like, how they gonna cut
First and
around
foremost, I'm a businesswoman, right? And I know what sells and what makes them money. So I was like, they ain't finna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they did it. They did it. So
she thought she was gonna get fired, essentially. Wow.
My thought process is, listen, I appreciate it. I thought they was gonna fire my black ass. Really? I thought, yeah. You know what the contract says?
I know what it's saying. Yeah.
And even before that, you know what I'm saying? I was in some shit before that. So, you know what I mean? I just really thought that, you know, and I'm surprised that they can show it. My launch, my campaign,
Yeah.
they're showing it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think.
Well, you don't know because sometimes they'll cut it out after they
I think that I did a green screen. You know, when you're in a green screen, if they ask you questions about certain, that's what they're gonna show.
Yeah, that's how.
So now, how much of it I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that was my story. So you know.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that she said she thought they were going to fire her. I do think like it's definitely a different storyline that we have seen on Married to Medicine. So I'm not surprised that Bravo decided to keep it. If I were Bravo too, I will keep it because we've seen a lot of things from the Married to Medicine cast. And so having a completely different story this time around that is not necessarily about the fighting and all of that. Yeah, I definitely don't like that. Oh, just a quick point to add about Candy. Super says they only have one OLG open and it's 8 minutes from my house. Oh, how is the food? Is the OLG food good? Let me know. Super says they have a certain fan base that likes nastiness. She discussed me. Yes, absolutely. I think that a lot of the Married to Medicine cast love them some Heavenly, even though I feel like Heavenly is unhinged and I feel like Heavenly goes way too far and way too low. And I don't even understand how that behavior has been or how that behavior continues to be. How can I explain it? It continues to be endorsed, really. And so, yeah, I definitely agree that there's this level of nastiness that we do see with the Married to Medicine fan base, actually. Yeah. It's not nice. It feels like there isn't a limit with a lot of these people. It's just like there are no limits. And I would say like I personally do not like that. Hello to those who have just joined in. We're currently talking about Married to Medicine, but please hit that like button. We've talked about a lot of different things ranging from Love and Marriage Huntsville to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And now we're on Married to Medicine. We're also going to be talking about some other things like Potomac, the newest episode of Potomac. We're also going to be talking about some other news that we have on different Potomac stars. So please make sure you stay until the end and hit that like button. Please and thank you. Super says Camp Creek is better than Peter Street was, so still not great. Still not great, I say, but good to me. Okay. Still not great. Super, you must tell me the places to go and eat if I'm ever in your town or your city. Okay. All right, let's move on to Miss Giselle. Miss Giselle. Okay. Reasonably Shady. As you guys know, Reasonably Shady on the latest episode got 10 million downloads. I think that is amazing. I think that is amazing. So it's definitely very, very interesting to see. But let me share that. Okay, let's play this. Yeah, it's serious. Like, he will be shooketh. Like, I would be surprised if he ain't shook. I feel like all of them are going to be shook. So, I don't know what we expect, but of course he shook. Not we now have a new criminal. Not a new criminal. Not a new criminal. Giselle is definitely shady. Okay. Well, to be fair, she's not wrong in the sense that if you don't show up, then everyone is definitely then asking more questions. Everybody does not know, what to believe, what not to believe. And so yeah, I definitely think it's a bit odd at the end of the day. Super says I watched Reasonably Shady US podcast this morning. Oh, that's wonderful. So do you watch them often then? Are you one of the 10 million downloads? I've never listened to their podcast. The only thing I ever see are these clips that I see on social media. But if they're really that good, maybe I need to start checking them out and watching them actively when I have time at least. Mm-hmm. Yep. I definitely agree with Giselle's assessment. If you're really trying to look like you're innocent, or not like you're innocent, that you've changed your life, that you're no longer this person, and you're hoping for light sentencing, then changing your life becomes a thing. But at the same time, I'm sure the lawyers are telling them not to admit nothing, because before you start admitting anything, we need to figure out whether we have a case to argue on the technicalities to make sure that you can get away scot free. So no lawyer is basically going to be telling you to be out here saying nothing publicly that makes it seem like you are guilty. So just FYI. And but I also understand what she means about like if you're really if you want all those things to also add to the sentencing, you want to really seem like you have changed your life around, that you're no longer out here doing shady things. So yeah, definitely think like that's also something to consider. Okay. Where is the bit about Yes, I definitely agree with Giselle on that. Robin just looks like, girl, you do not like the girl. Okay? That much is obvious. The way she's like, you clearly do not like the girl. Oh my god, I haven't been showing you guys the video and you guys did not say nothing. You guys are so nice. I just realized I wasn't sharing the right screen. Super said I agreed with that. Wendy should not have gone to BravoCon, yeah. And I feel like I'm hating what I hate more is these statements that Wendy's team are putting out. I feel like those statements will be used against them because that shows that you're basically trying to deny things. And it's like, guys, so you're almost acting like, no, these people are out to get me, all that kind of stuff, when you should just ignore it and say nothing about it, as opposed to now coming to put those statements out. So I don't think they're handling it very, very well, to be honest.
And shoot, we don't have too many people on Potomac that know what to say or do. She is one of them. So I was happy she was there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I did give Wendy a hug.
Yeah, as you should, right? As you should. Someone said, I bet Eddie Hennessy was stressed out. And best believe the only reason why Wendy was at BravoCon was because she was already contracted and paid to be there months in advance. Okay. Did she laugh at her or say she was brave? Giselle has been supporting Wendy the whole time. She pretty much has. She's been reasonably shady. Let's just say that. I will say that. She's been a little shady, but reasonably shady. Okay, so let's move on to this one.
My confusion is okay. So they're moving out in the middle of the night. How? I don't. If there was a warrant out for your arrest, this has been ongoing. I don't know. It's very confusing.
It's all strange.
Let me just pause and respond to Super. They are watching Wendy's every move. I agree with that. They definitely are. I think that's the thing about these feds, right? They are watching everything you say can and will be used against you. That's just the reality of the situation. And so I just feel like that's like on the list, that is high priority. So you shouldn't be doing anything that would not look good for your sentencing, especially if they have all of these amounts of evidence against you and they want to use you as an example. If I were them, they should be coming out being so genuine and honest. Of course, nobody's telling you to admit anything, but also don't be saying something denying it either. Just keep quiet, right? Keep quiet and just go ghost and let no one know what exactly is going on. So that when you go to the court, you can be saying you've had time to reflect and stuff like that. But now you all did not have time to reflect because you're constantly having your PR team correct things you think are important for your reputation. Masweet, please go back and watch the start of the video, because if you check on the title, there is definitely a few things that I'm talking about. And if you check the start of the video, you would see that I talked about all of the different things that I will be talking about. Okay? So please rewind, start from the beginning, and rewatch it before leaving that kind of comment. Thank you. Alrighty.
Very confusing, but at the end of the day, it is a crime to steal somebody's furniture.
Yes.
And I'm sorry that she's, put herself in this situation.
And also, just to even add to that point, there is Porsha on the thumbnail. Porsha is not from Love and Married Huntsville. So that should tell you that it's not going to be just about Love and Married Huntsville. Okay? Thank you. Alrighty.
Sorry.
Are you?
I am.
Why? You thought about it and you decided to commit a crime. and now you feeling sorry for her? I don't.
Okay. I feel that whatever's been going on in her life lately, it's not just this incident. I just feel
Have
like
you talked to Mia?
I have not.
Okay, so how do we know she's going through something?
I'm just saying, okay, let's start with
So Robin seems to have all this empathy for Mia, but where was the empathy for Miss Wendy? So you have empathy for someone who allegedly took some furniture, but you don't have empathy for the people who are doing insurance, allegedly doing some insurance fraudulent activities. Okay. Sweet, not too much on reviews and recap. She has talked about right to she's talking about Thank you so much, Braylon. Thank you so much. It's just like, I'm just like, I said I'll talk about love. If you join from the start, the live has been going on for ages, right? So if you join from the start, you would see that I've talked about Love and Married Huntsville. So just go back and refresh it. And that is it. I think the thing about it is, like, I feel like there's also like a more respectful way of saying it. You could have just said, "Oh, are you still talking about Love and Married Huntsville?" I would have said, "Oh, I've talked about it earlier." But some of these people come over here and have all these like strong, a little shade, a little this to say, and it's like, girl, please. Super said that's why I can't take Love and Married Huntsville fans. Sometimes they be doing too much. It's like, girl, please go back and watch the rest. Go back and watch the rest. Like, there's only how much can I really put in the freaking title? I can't put everything in the title. Well, that's why at the start of the video I talk about everything, or more or less give a general overview of all the stuff I want to talk about. But anyways, some of these Love and Marriage Huntsville fans are annoying, to be honest.
Her family, she got a divorce. They lost their business. She got a divorce. She left, town for a man, which kind of like ended up being the demise of her on the show, which I think she probably had planned to be on the show for a while. She moves to Atlanta for this man. She breaks up with this man. She gets with another man. She breaks up with him, or
Are they breaking up with her?
Okay, they break up.
Giselle's cracking me up with are they breaking up with her? That's just hilarious to me. Okay. That is so funny to me.
Okay. I'm just saying, I just feel like she's like searching for something, and like, just something's not stable in her life. That's just my perception from what I see.
But this is called life. It seems like life is lifing for her.
Yeah.
And when life starts lifing, you've got to make good decisions.
Yeah.
Giselle, please, I really hope you never get in this situation, honey, because all this, when life is life, you make good decisions. I'm like, Giselle, you better continue to make good decisions, because Mia was over there laughing at Wendy. Now look at her. Okay, so please, Giselle.
That make great choices.
That's true.
I think she's making some poor choices.
Yeah.
That in those cases, I never say, you know what, I feel sorry. Not in this case, goddamn it, because we know Mia. She did this and she thought about it, and this is what she decided to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but if you want to feel, because Robin's always feeling sorry for people, I'm here for you on that. But I'm just no.
Yeah, I know. Like, For me, I'm a low-key a soft-hearted person when it comes to these sorts of situations. So like even when you do something wrong, I can call it out and say you did something wrong, but I will always feel bad for you because I always think about the implication of what you have done and how that can completely change the trajectory of your life. And so for me, yes, I feel bad for Mia still. Even though I'm like, Mia, what were you thinking? I want to give her a good shake. Like, give her a shake. Like, what were you thinking, Mia?
I just, for anyone that is going through any type
She's
of
not on my prayer list.
issue, okay.
Giselle said she is not on my prayer list. Oh no. Mm-mm-mm.
I just hate that they have gotten to a point where they're in this situation.
That she felt like
my confusion.
Yeah, the whole thing is just weird. Like, why would you even do that? Like, look here, I'm just like, is this attention seeking? Like, what is going on? Mia moved furniture out of an apartment that she didn't move in there. This is the thing. It's like, why, sis? Of all the things, imagine going to jail for what, $11,000 worth of furniture? Like, an average person can give you that money. Like, why? Why, Mia? You could have gotten that on your credit card. Why? This is why it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, like, of course, we didn't like what them Wendy did and stuff, but at least it wasn't for freaking 11,000 worth of furniture. So yeah, I'm gonna need Mia, please, honey, next time, don't be doing them things. Furniture, for goodness sakes. Imagine going to jail for 11,000 worth of furniture. That's crazy. Hey, Passion. Hello. How are you? So glad you could join us tonight. So yeah, I'm with, like, I feel bad, so I'm with Robin on that, but I also agree with Giselle that Mia is always making just crazy decisions and it's not looking good. She just needs to chill on that. Okay. I was going to play, let me see if I can get this clip out. Let me just get that clip. Look at the CEO. She literally took her TV off the wall. Oh my gosh. Not the whole TV. It's like, what are you doing? A whole TV? Mm-mm. No, ma'am. That is not looking good. Yeah. Okay, so the girlies are talking about Kiana accusing Stacy of dating Monique's ex-husband and how that went. So let's just play that.
A brings up that Stacy may have dated Chris Samuels.
I felt like Kay's delivery fell flat. Kay was obviously trying to make
It did. It fell so flat. And this is the thing. It's like, hey, honey, you're really not delivering this tea very, very well. It was so flat. And because it was so flat, it did not land at all. It did not land. If you were trying to create drama, that was not the way. It did not work. You need to take lessons from Giselle, because if you see the way Giselle creates drama, you need to take notes. Mm-mm.
a moment, right? And it was the moment like fell on the ground.
She said that like she's seen you around.
Like, everybody was confused. She said that she's seen you around. Like, okay. Like, what is your point, Kay?
I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about.
No, it wasn't Monique and Chris.
That is your ex-husband, right? Yeah, she was dating Chris.
To the point where I had to go to Monique and be like, she's trying to tell you Stacy was dating Chris.
Like, the fact that Giselle had to step in and say she's trying to tell you that Stacy was dating Chris, like, what are we doing? Like, that is just flat.
With the subtitles.
Yes, that was the most epic fail of a delivery.
Even Monique is like, that was an epic fail of a delivery. Absolutely. fell flat.
Phone that I've ever witnessed in my life. I was like, girl, if you don't get to the point. By the time she got to the point, the whole shock factor was gone.
Exactly. It's like you've already. Ugh. Yeah, Kate, you're not doing great this season at all. You're not doing great.
She blew it like completely.
Oh,
She completely. I was like, oh, you poor baby. It's okay.
In her little.
Imagine Monique is like, you poor baby. Like, you see, that is so embarrassing.
Mouse voice that nobody heard. It was like a.
Oh my god, not in the mouse voice that nobody heard. Stacey is Stacey is definitely clowning Kay for that.
Little mouse speaking from.
Well, she was very nervous to talk about that.
She was very nervous to talk about that. Why was she nervous? If you're nervous to talk about that, you don't want to be the person to bring the bone, then tell the producers no. But that's the thing. These producers have these women, in my opinion, allegedly, have these women out here having to be like carrying the bone. And that's what happens when you allow somebody to carry the bone, but the person doesn't even want to carry the bone. This is what you end up with.
She was like, she didn't know how to navigate. She was like, oh my gosh, how do I bring this up to Monique? What do I say? And I was like, you want me to tell her? She was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell her. I was like, okay.
You should have just let Ashley do it, because that's what Ashley does. Ashley would have been like, so, Monique, did you know that Stacey was dating your man or your ex-man? Period. Simple.
Hey girl, land the plane. Come on now, you can do it.
Oh my God, that was the bumpiest landing ever. Get me off the plane.
Here's the thing. No one should castigate you for doing that,
No,
because
we don't
number
care.
one, you told the truth. And number two, no one would give that energy to Giselle if Giselle was the one to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's just the bar moves for you and I.
It is.
Oh, please, Angel. Misery loves company. Please chill the heck out. This has nothing to do with you and Kay being the ones. It just did not land well. Please.
It's like, here goes Kay again. It's like, here goes
It's okay. Just learn. Pick it up. Know what to do next.
Kay again, giving you guys more of the truth.
Yeah.
It's very clear that Kiana wanted to start something. She wasn't saying that to be pleasant. She was saying that to be messy.
I think that Kay has so much to juggle with her relationship with Greg. I don't even understand why she's worried about me.
I think Kay has a big problem with you as well as with me, because we are the type of woman that she aspires to be.
Ooh. Okay. Well, Kay not gonna like that. Kay is not going to like that. But I guess she said what she said.
And I'm not saying that to be shady, but we move in this group without the need or the approval of others.
Do you think Monique?
Fair enough on that. Wendy brought it home back. Like, she brought it back home where she said, we move around this group without the need for approval of others. Although sometimes Wendy gives me she wants Giselle's approval, but that's just my thoughts.
Really cared about what Kiana was saying.
She seemed unfazed to me.
It wasn't that she wasn't unfazed. She was just like, is this for real?
I think there was.
Yeah, she was definitely unfazed, in my opinion. Jessie.
A couple things going on. She didn't know how to react. She didn't know what was going on. It was a lot coming at her at once.
Yeah, that's fair.
She is somebody that does want to read the room.
Yeah.
Monique gave 0 Fs.
I agree with Wendy. Monique did not give a dang. Monique knew what it was about, but Monique did not play into it. Monique was like, I am back. I'm trying to make sure I last long on this show. I am not trying to start nothing with nobody for now. So no.
About what Kiana was saying.
She literally didn't care.
No, and didn't land.
I can't say if Monique genuinely does not care,
Yeah.
but I mean, some part of me still feels like it's like, I don't think she cares about Chris or being back in a relationship with him or, you know, whatever he has going on in her life. But I just feel like as a woman, being around friends, whether she's like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, that's great that you don't care. But I don't know. The woman in me says that you still would want to know who is who here. That's me.
Yeah, and I think that we didn't know her well enough at that point to know if this was a deflection to preserve her peace or if she actually didn't care. Yeah.
There you go.
On this one, I agree with Angel in the sense that they don't necessarily know that for sure. But I think Monique did not give a dang. Monique did not like that man anymore. Okay? I don't even know if she liked him to begin with because I never really watched the previous seasons. But from what I saw, Monique did not like that man. So Monique was happy to send him back to the streets, send him back wherever he needed to be, honey. She would not have cared if someone said they're marrying Chris today. Okay. So I think that's where I think everyone needs to get it because I think everyone really thinks like Monique is bothered or some people think Monique is bothered and stuff. Monique ain't bothered. Monique does not care. She does not like that man. Honestly, that's what I think anyway. Okay. So Super also agrees with me that Wendy does want Giselle's approval. Yes, I agree with that. I feel like I've noticed the way she definitely moves that she loves and wants Giselle's approval. I definitely agree with that. And then this is how I know Super is my girl because she is out here saying everything I'm saying. She said Monique never loved Chris. Now, I'm not surprised because the vibe that I got from Monique from the recent episodes that I watched, and also I watched the first introduction that I got to Monique was when I watched Love and Marriage. Was it Detroit or DC? I think it was DC. When I watched Love and Marriage DC, I was like, Monique does not like this man. She does not like this man. She does not want to be around him. That was the vibe that I got. She was definitely very unhappy. And I think there's some things that Chris does that makes it hard for Monique to like the man. So I definitely think, Monique did not like that man one bit. That was definitely what was coming across when she was on the Love and Marriage DC show.
I'm so grateful that Monique basically sidestepped
She paid her dust.
and paid her complete dust and handled it like a grown woman.
She sure did.
You never really want to be sitting up with who your ex is.
Like you've seen the same Willie. I would have said that differently, but yes, we've said the same thing.
Yeah.
They've seen the same Willie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not they've seen the same Willie. You don't know if they saw the same Willie. Like, you do not know that. It sounded like Stacy just went on a couple of dates or one day, honey. I don't know about no see no Willie. So, but okay. But I also understand why the women feel the way they feel about Stacy, to be honest. And I know we like Stacy and stuff, but y'all know I will call a spade a spade. I understand why some of the ladies don't particularly see it for Stacy. I get it.
Yeah. So, and then the Willie that you married.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's had it longer.
Reproduced with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are now talking about Willies. Like, give it a rest.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are divorced.
Yeah.
And there is a part of her like, Chris is free to do what he wants to do.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Chris is a free man. You know, you guys are acting like she was in love with him and then they had to go their separate ways because of something. She was clearly not in love with that man. So no, she's not going to care what the man does, to be honest.
It was really weird because it was like, I don't even know y'all. I would have expected for that to come from somebody I know. Like
exactly. Somebody she knows, not someone she ain't never met before. So Kiana is a no, dear.
You or Wendy or Giselle even. But when it comes to me and my ex, I don't care about him and what he does. The only thing I care about is my children.
Exactly. I'm with Monique as well. It's like, if I've left the man, why should I care what he does? Why should I care? If he decides to go on and move ahead with whoever, that's his business. I do not care. I don't like Stacy. She tells unnecessary lies. Well, you better stay tuned for what I am about to say about Stacy tonight, because I am not liking Stacy at all. And I'm with you on the unnecessary lies. It's too much. It's too much. I like the lightheartedness she brings to the show, but I hate the way she tells lies. It's just she got a lying problem. That is what's given.
And if you're gonna date somebody, just make sure they're good with the kids, So that's my only concern. But I would expect that he's dating. Yeah. Well, apparently he loves hanging around Potomac housewives, which is interesting.
I've heard that.
Yeah, a lot of times. So I don't know what that's about, but you know, it is what it is.
That pride. Kay brings up that Stacey may have dated Chris.
Exactly. Like, I'm with Monique, honey. Like, please, whatever he's doing ain't got nothing to do with me. Let him do whatever he wants to do, but yeah, nah, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, I feel like Tia just does talk about Stacey's boyfriend slash ex-husband slash may get back together with her husband. And we will watch this, but before that, I want to say my my little 2 cents about the latest episode of Potomac. Now, I have a big issue, a big bone to pick with Stacey. I have a big bone to pick with Stacey, because my thing is, Stacey, what is the point? The lying does not even have a reason. There's no need to lie. Right? Like, I just don't get it. There's no need to lie. Why did she have to make it seem like her husband is not going to be around? She could have literally just said, Tia, honestly, my husband does not want to meet any of the girls because he knows what has been going on in this group. He's not ready to meet any of the girls yet. That could have been it. That could have been the end of it. You're a grown woman. Your husband is allowed to not want to meet the whole group yet. You could have said, oh, nah, let's just keep it here for now. When I'm ready to share my husband with the rest of the group, we would. Right? So I just feel like there was no need for her to lie. It was totally unnecessary. There was no need for all of that. I just wish that just was not done, right? And so I don't understand why Stacey always does that. And so I'm like, yes, you can like Stacey. I like the fact that Stacey brings that little fun, light-hearted moments to the show. But I hate the way she's always lying. I feel like I would not be able to be friends with Stacey if I was on the show on Potomac. And I feel like her lying would annoy me as well. Because I would just be like, I don't know how to place you. I can't trust anything that comes out of your mouth. So I can't be friends with you. Right? So I definitely think that that is off. The other thing that I felt that was off as well is, do you guys believe that Stacey called Chris to let him know what Monique said about him? Let me know. Put a no in the chat if you think Stacey did not do that. Put a yes in the chat if you believe that Stacey went to Chris to tell him what Monique had to say about him. So put a yes or put a no. Okay. I'll see what you guys are saying. I see a yes in the chat. I see a yes in the chat. Who else thinks that Stacey called Chris to tell him what Monique said? Let me know what you guys think. So I see a yes. Super says, I see why Giselle feels like she does about Stacey. Completely agree. I cannot, if I were in that group, I would not be able to stand Stacey. I can't stand people that are lying totally unprovoked. There's no need to lie. You're too grown to be lying. None of the women are going to beat you up. None of the women are going to be in your face about nothing. Why lie? And that's the thing that I personally struggle with. I just don't get the need to lie. And so I think for me, it's just very, very confusing when I see that she is lying. I find it extremely confusing. I find it extremely unnecessary. I honestly don't even know what to do with myself when I see that she's lying. I'm like, why are you lying? What is the reason? Right? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So no. Super says, I can't have a liar in my circle. I don't want you in my home. Completely agree. I'm like that. If I feel like I can't trust you, I don't believe what comes out of your mouth. Yeah. There's really nothing to discuss. We can't be friends. I don't want to be around you. Absolutely not. And Super thinks not necessarily Kay could have told Cookie that. Yes, I think that could have potentially happened as well. But because Stacy lies so much, I feel like I cannot believe her when she says she didn't tell Chris. Because it's like you've lied so much that your credibility is shattered. And so I just struggle to believe that, yes, I agree that it's possible that Kay could have told Cookie, but I just think I struggle to believe Stacy when Stacy says she does not know what happened and she's not involved. That's the bit I would say I struggle with. Okay, so moving on, I just want to make a quick point about Angel. Angel is annoying. It's so annoying to me how after this whole thing has happened, we don't moved on. Angel still has not moved on. How can she open her mouth to say Wendy was the one who called her a catfish? Like, Wendy did not call you a catfish. That was Giselle. And it's just having me think, like, does she have beef with dark-skinned women? Because I don't understand why you have so much venom for Wendy, but you don't have venom for the one that you really should be having all the venom for. Giselle was the one that tried you, yet you're cool with Giselle, but you're not cool with Wendy. Yet you have all that energy for Giselle, or you have no energy for Giselle, but all that energy for Wendy. It's so weird to me. And I'm just so exhausted with Angel that I can only imagine how the rest of the group feels. The rest of the group is probably like, oh my God, Angel, give it a rest. And at Giselle's event again, she brought up the issue. And I'm like, girl, give it a rest. Give it a rest. Did you see the way she looked when Wendy came into the room? It's like, you look pressed. Even if you want to address something with Wendy, like, why do you look so pressed about the issue, Angel? It's been too long. You've had enough time to get over it. She has such a delayed response to things, and it just comes out extremely weird and unnecessary. Now, when I tell y'all I love the way Tia clocked Stacy, I feel like that was essential, that needed to happen. And I feel like Stacy knew not to go back and forth with Tia because Tia would, with that accent, Tia would read her for filth. And I think Stacy knew that. So Stacy did not even go back and forth with Tia on that. Because Tia definitely was like, don't let this accent fool you. And Stacy was just there looking like, a clown with her, let me be nice. Stacy was just there looking. She did not have nothing to say, right? Because she knew that Tia was right. You can't be out here lying, say one thing to me, then say another thing to Wendy. It's not right. It's not okay. Right? So I love how she called her out on the nonsense. We are tired of the lies. So I would just say, like, Stacy, I just think she's such a liar. She lies unprovoked. She needs to just stop lying. Own it. My husband does not want to hang out with you girls yet. He wants to see how I how I manage myself in the group before he comes, and comes and scream with you guys. He's just warming up to the idea, you could have said so many different things. Instead, you chose to lie and couldn't keep your lie straight. Like, nobody will want to be friends with someone they can't trust. So I definitely feel like Tia is justified in how Tia feels. And it's so interesting why I've been seeing a lot of comments where people were coming for Tia and basically saying that they love Tia, but they hate the fact that Tia is coming for Stacy. Guys, Tia has, just because you all like somebody does not mean that they are infallible. Does not mean that everything they do is correct. if they act a certain way, their castmates are allowed to call them out. That doesn't mean you all need to start hating on Tia now just because she's calling out how she feels about Stacey, just because y'all like Stacey. And so I just thought that was very, very weird. I think people get into this point where their love or likeness for somebody overshadows everything that they are allowed. Nobody is allowed to call them out or hold them accountable for something that they have done, which I think is absolutely wrong. You end up creating monsters that way and I feel like you guys need to be careful with the way you guys big up Stacey, because if you big her up so much that she then turns into someone that becomes very big-headed and hard to work with in a group, who knows, right? Now, I also do agree that if you're going to use a Nigerian name, learn how to pronounce the name. And it's interesting that Tia, that was meant to correct them about how to pronounce the Nigerian name, still got it wrong. I was just like, girl, please, Tia. Not you talking about she's like Shayo. Like, no, it's not Shayo, it's Shayo. And so if you, as somebody who is meant to be Nigerian, and you're meant to correct a pronunciation only for you to still get it wrong, is crazy to me. She should have just left it. Don't correct somebody and be wrong. Like, it's just common sense. But anyway. So I would say those are my 2 cents. The one last thing that I wanted to say about Potomac is I love Monique's confessional look down. She ate with that red outfit. Let me see if I can find you all that red outfit. That red outfit is fire. Okay? Fire. It's so good. She looked so divine. It was definitely giving Empress in that outfit. Let me see if I can find it, y'all. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can find it, but let's see. And Monique is such a stunning woman. Absolutely stunning, beautiful woman. Like, I never even thought she was that fine until I started look, because when she was on DC, I don't know what it was, but I wasn't thinking like she was that gorgeous. Maybe because it was always like, it seemed to be like always, they always had some sort of fight between her and her husband. And so I think I just never really thought, like, I never really saw her in that way or noticed how gorgeous she is. But Monique is one of the women who her face eats every time, and she has locks as well. She is just a naturally stunning woman. I would say her and Giselle are beautiful, like just gorgeous, beautiful looking women. But anyway, let me see if I can get that Monique's outfit, because I feel like that Monique's outfit needs to be shown, honey. It needs to be shown. She was eating everybody up with that red. Let me see if I can get it. At the moment, it's just showing Wendy's outfit. Because you all know I have to get it from this all those YouTube clips that they end up playing in the background. I don't think I can get it at the moment. It's still taking a while. And it's not one of those things, you know, Instagram, you can't fast forward. You just have to let it play. And so I really, yeah, it's just, I don't know how to just let it play. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not able to let it play. Okay. And Angel stays retweeting nonsense. But anyway. Or responding to nonsense. Let me play this for y'all.
That Stacey is lying about Timo's whereabouts. Why do you want to to get to the bottom of it so badly.
She's just causing confusion in this friend group all over the place. She's telling one person one thing, and I didn't want it to be that I just woke up and decided to switch on her. There was a sequence of events that got me to the point where I was really, really ticked off with her.
Oh, okay.
I was with her like in the morning for Arabella's swim class. Timo was there. So met him in person, touched him, appropriately, of course. Invited them for dinner, and she said that he's going to be flying out of town. I was wondering if you lot are free tomorrow evening, maybe we can do dinner with Wendy and her husband and me and Rob. He's got no friends.
I fly out tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think he's back until next week.
I don't think he's back until next week. That is a lie. Right? So it's like, let's not act like she wasn't lying about it.
Yeah. And then, after that, I had dinner with Wendy.
My impression was you were supposed to be here. What happened?
Timo wasn't quite ready for such a big introduction, so we had to pass this time. Timo is just really trying to get comfortable.
Because I just told Wendy that the reason why you lot went here was because Timo's out of town.
Yeah, he just flew in today.
How can he be in?
So it's like, he just flew in today. You could have just said, girl, do you know what? My bad. But it's like, that's the thing. I think the thing about her is even when she gets caught in the lie, she still doubles down and continues to lie. I think that's what makes it worse. It's like, you're a little dangerous, honey, because you don't just end it there. You keep lying even after you get caught. And that's what I feel like is the hardest bit with Stacey.
In and out of town, because I literally just saw him. Do you know what I mean? So which
Yeah,
is
that
it?
was shady. We're all being honest here.
No, it wasn't even like a setup. I'm just like, no, he can't be out of town. I just saw him.
Yes.
Like,
Seconds ago.
So he can't be both, you know? So I'm starting to think, well, what did I take this morning that I'm hallucinating? Because I swear I just saw him.
It really bothered me when I got the call from you guys and I heard that you were upset with me.
Tia said you had said
Stacey. It's like, girl, do you have friends that tell you the truth? Because it's like, yes, sis, I don't know. It's giving you life for sport.
that to her that you felt that
It's like you just lie to confuse people and you love being able to be playing mind games with people. That is so weird.
Tia was the safest person for Timo to meet.
Tia, I really don't appreciate you causing friction between Wendy and me.
No, darling, you're creating your own friction because you can't keep up with your story.
I barely know her, and I don't like people who interfere with other long-standing relationships.
Yeah. If you don't want to come to dinner, he doesn't want to be there, just simply say, we've got plans, or he can't make it, or whatever. But like, don't get a step further to lie, and it's a bad lie because it's a blatant lie because I saw him. The vibe I got when I met him at the swim meet was that he's very cautious with this friend group.
Like, I feel like Tia, when everything happened at Giselle's million download party, I felt as though, is she trying to join the hate Stacey train? Like, it seemed like that's what everyone was doing, and she wanted to be part of the in crowd.
She jumped on the back.
Okay, Wendy, this is where I disagree with you. And I think sometimes it can seem like if everyone is disagreeing with somebody, that nobody has valid reasons for that. Tia has a valid reason for not being able to, not liking the way Stacey is moving. If you say something to me, I bring it up, and then you basically gaslight me to make it seem like I'm lying when that was not what happened and I wasn't lying about nothing. Of course, I'm going to feel some type of way. And so I just think it's very, very odd that Wendy and Stacey are sitting and making it seem like Tia is just trying to jump on the hate Stacey bandwagon. No, Tia is upset that Stacey said something, and when confronted about what she said, she tried to make it seem like Tia is trying to come for Stacey and Wendy's friendship, when that is not what happened. She was just relaying something that was said. So it's like, girl, please, you're just trying to cover up exactly what you said. You shouldn't have said what you said out of your mouth to Tia.
And she just jumped at the opportunity to be a part of that.
When I first met you, I had heard a lot about you, and I didn't want to form an opinion about you, so I took time to get to know you until I could discover how you move. I invited you to dinner.
You invited my husband to dinner, and he politely declined. And he said no.
He was flying out the evening of the dinner is what I understood.
No, he was flying out on Wednesday evening.
It's one thing to say, I'm getting to know you, and I think we may have had a misunderstanding. As opposed to, I'm getting to know you, I think you're a liar.
Everybody who has seen you has called you a liar. I've given you the benefit of the doubt.
I understand both perspective. I understand where Stacey is coming from. It's like, okay, everything that you've heard about me is almost like now you're coming for me and like piling it on. But at the same time, think about it from Tia's perspective. Everyone has called Stacey a liar, but she's trying to give Stacey the benefit of the doubt. Then Stacey lies to her. It's like further perpetuating the idea that Stacey is a liar. And then it's like Stacey then tries to flip it on Tia, like Tia is the one trying to cause problems between her and Wendy. Instead of taking accountability, oh, when I said that to Tia, I didn't think about you as being part of the group. You're my friend. So when I think about this group, I'm not thinking about you as a part of this group. I'm talking about this group specifically, not you inclusive, right? That could have been it. That could have been the end of it. Instead, Stacey kept at it. And I think that's the problem.
You thought I was foolish. Don't let this accent fool you.
As I got to know,
Tia was not with it. Tia said, don't let this accent fool you. Okay.
a little bit more about Tia, you know, she's just as rough and around the edges as some of the other people I know. She may put on a nice little polished appearance, but yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Do you think Stacey was lying about his whereabouts?
No.
Stacey lying?
Stacey lying?
No, these people be like, no, that is so sarcastic. They know Stacey's a lie. Everyone knows at this point.
Maybe that's why her shoulders are so uptight.
Holding all them lies.
Holding all them lies.
That is so funny. Holding on to them lies, honey.
A lot of tension up there.
She's a liar. And it's very unimpressive to me that the rest of us try to show up in our authenticity and show our real lives and try to genuinely get to know each other, good, bad, and indifferent. And Stacey is just so committed to being this character, acting.
Ooh! Kiana is reading her down right now, and I do agree. Version says perhaps he's a twin. Who are we talking about? I think I've missed it. And then Super says, I'm with Tia. She didn't have a misunderstanding. Stacey lied. Me too. I'm with Tia too. It's like, you lied. You lied. Even though I get where Stacey's coming from. Like, okay, maybe don't like pile on what other people have said about me. But at the same time, I get where Tia is coming from. You have been called a liar. I gave you the benefit of doubt and then you lied. So it's like the leopard is not changing its spots.
Like she's an airhead, acting like she doesn't know what's going on. It's deception and it's annoying.
My question is why Tia is so invested. I don't understand.
Wendy girl, I know you're trying to ride for your friend, but yeah, Tia is not going to like this. And Tia is probably going to come for Wendy now because Tia has been so nice and has been saying good things about Wendy. She is not going to like Wendy after watching this. I tell you that.
Understand this 180 that has now happened.
Seriously. You suspect that Stacey is lying about Timo's whereabouts. Why do you want to get to the bottom of it so badly?
She's just causing confusion in this frame.
Yep. I'm definitely with Tia. Like overall, I'm with Tia because it's like, yo, you're trying to make it seem like I'm lying when you're the liar. And there's nothing I hate more than people trying to make it seem like I'm lying when they're the liars. So I definitely get where Tia is coming from. I get how frustrating it can be when you're trying to get to know somebody and they're just out here lying to you whilst in the same breath basically telling you that they're being vulnerable with you. So yeah, I'm with that. I do think Stacey needs to stop lying unprovoked. It's exhausting. I don't even know how she does it and continues to do it. And it's interesting what Kay said, where it feels like she has a persona and she is like, she has just come to perform for the people. And it's like the people are eating it up. Because if you see all the comments, everyone is just always talking about, oh, Stacey this, and Stacey is this, and Stacey is that. Let's even see what the comments are saying over here. Okay, I don't know if there are comments there. You see, I feel like Tia wanted to be mad at Stacey and be on the hate train. Stacey said Tamo was apprentice of the group, so why not chalk it up to that? Obviously, Tamo lied and Stacey told the truth behind the lie. Most friends would let it go. He was trying to politely decline by lying to your face. This is not a big lie to be pissed off. It is, if this person is always lying. This is what I mean when I say people love Stacey and they can't see past that. Stacey saying she barely knows Tia, but in the scene with Stacey introducing Tia to her husband, she said she felt comfortable enough to introduce. So which is it? These are the questions. So Tia would give a pass if they said that they had other plans, but Stacey says she has a flight. It's a problem. Yes, because that's very specific. You have other plans is very vague. Like other plans could be being in bed. Other plans could be I have no plans to be here, but I'm going to be indoors. That's different. At least there's one person here saying Team Tia on this one. Stacey makes my head spin trying to get away with the story she makes up. I can't keep up. No, ma'am. Stacey came in with preconceived notions about Stacey from Giselle, and she also feels like she can take Stacey, so she keeps coming for her unprecedented. I don't think she keeps coming for her. I think she's come for her in this situation when it was definitely warranted. Ain't no difference in saying I have plans and I'm leaving town. Literally none. Tia is playing semantics. She just wants to dislike Stacey. There is a difference. And the fact that you lot want to act like you don't know what the difference is between I'm leaving town, I'm not going to be in town until next weekend, is cracking me up. And I have plans. I have plans could be I have plans to sleep. I have plans to cook tonight. I have plans could be anything. You saying that you are going to be out of town until next weekend is a lie. Just because you like Stacey is still a lie. Wow, people are really like going in on Stacey, on Tia. People saying Stacey's husband lied first and Stacey told the truth. Nah, Stacey lied and said he's going to be away until next week. So what are we doing? Yeah. Anyways, Ilya, let's just... Exactly. Tia invited them to dinner. Tamo said he was flying out, and Stacey said yes, he doesn't fly back in until next week. Exactly. Somebody that decided to clear it up, because people are acting like we didn't just watch the same thing just because you're like Stacey. When Wendy called Stacey, it's a completely different story. Two things can be true. Does Stacey be getting the girls together? Yes. But does Stacey be lying? Yes. Exactly. I never cared for Stacey. She's too grown to be lying. I feel you. It's like, why are you lying so much? I hope Stacey doesn't take the Maya's route with the lies, because not gonna lie, it's becoming too much. She lied about TJ, lied about the Happy Eddie copycat business. She probably even lied about getting back with her ex-husband for the show, and now this. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I disagree, Wendy. Stacey like $3 bill. Stacey lies a lot. It baffles me. You all want to act as if it's normal. Absolutely. Thank you. A truthful person is an honest person. Stacey is not one of them. So Wendy's just going to ride with Stacey even to a fault, I see. Tia was very clear in expressing what her issue with Stacey was. Stacey was at fault on this one. I agree. Someone said it's no hate if it is true. If confused the enemy was a person, Stacey would be that person. Yeah, I think people definitely need to... It's too much. They both. Stacey's getting the same reaction from the fans that Mia was getting, and look what happened with Mia. Stacey's performance. Oh my goodness, Super! I think you've hit the nail on the head. You have hit the nail on the head completely. I agree with you, because people were liking Mia and they were encouraging the lies. Look at how it turned out. Now you lot are encouraging Stacey and she keeps lying. And very soon, you guys will turn on her the way you turned on Mia if she doesn't stop lying. So I hope she stops lying, because, yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, Bajan was talking about Stacey's husband. Yeah, like, please. It's just like the lies. The lies, in the words of Candy. It's just like, what are we doing? It's not necessary. Anyways, guys, it's been wonderful hanging with you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who has been in the chat tonight. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. And thank you, Replay Gang. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Bajan. Thank you, Super. Thank you, Tommy, my mod. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat. Thanks to Braylin as well. You guys, Braylin is a content creator, so please make sure you go over there and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Yeah, thanks to everyone who was able to come through and leave a comment and engage with us. Yeah, thank you everyone. I am going to bed. It is 11:47 p.m. over here, so I need to go to bed so I can wake up and, yeah, start my day pretty much early tomorrow. But yeah, have a wonderful evening, everyone.